Hello guys, check out my profile. What do you think of my amazing electric range and awesome infotainment system? I'm so much cheaper to run and way better than the previous partner you used to date. Hello Electroheads, Eilis here, and I just know we've been down this road before. You know the score. You get a nibble, a promise of something amazing, only to be let down when reality hits. And I don't mean electric cars, they really are the future. I'm talking about the way they're taxed.
Taxes? I don't pay no damn taxes.
As it stands, if you have an EV in the UK, you don't need to pay any road tax. And the government even offers an EV grant of up to £1,500 for cars costing 32 grand or less. It used to be more, but this is a big saving to the consumer and big incentive to consider an EV over a petrol car. But just like that summer fling you knew had to end, these incentives aren't going to last forever. EV car sales in the UK increased by 76.3% last year, and 11.6% of all cars sold were electric. While this might not sound like a lot, the numbers are rapidly growing, and although that's great news for the planet, for the British government, it's already a whole load of road tax revenue they're missing out on.
Nothing left.
If they do nothing, they'll be out of pocket by up to £35 billion in taxes, according to MPs in Parliament. That's almost as much as my last Tinder date owes me for that fancy dinner at the Shard he said he'd pay for. You still owe me, Simon. I know you didn't lose your credit card. Quick interruption, calling all you potential patrons out there. We need you. You can donate as little as £5. That's like basically £1 a week, and you can get exclusive content, including a secret Discord community and the chance to win an e-ride every month. Check the link in the description below to sign up, and I promise you, I'm not going to steal your money, like Simon. So, it's pretty obvious that once these incentives have achieved their goal of getting your number, getting people to buy EVs, the government will have to find a way to tax them. And I'm afraid it looks like it's gonna have to be sooner rather than later, especially since all new petrol and diesel cars are going to be banned from sale in 2030. That's only 8 years away, or to put it into context, the same amount of time it will take for me to find someone that actually looks like their profile picture on Tinder. The London congestion charge is another revenue generator that EVs currently sidestep, as is the ULEZ zone, but they will have to start paying from the 25th of December 2025.
Merry Christmas.
It's easy to be cynical, but the reality is this is a tricky business. Without vehicle excise duty or road tax, the roads wouldn't get repaired and basic road infrastructure would get neglected. So it's clearly important that we all pay our fair share, but what is fair? In fact, throw down some comments and let me know if you have any creative ideas of what is fair when it comes to taxing EVs. So how do things currently look? And remember, we are talking about the UK specifically here. As it stands, petrol and diesel cars are taxed based on their emission levels. The higher the emissions, the higher the tax. Simple. Under the current system, EVs pay nothing at all as their tailpipe emissions are zero. They don't even have tailpipes. Neither does Simon. Anyway, remember that crazy £35 billion loss in tax revenue I mentioned earlier? Well, the vast majority of that shortfall isn't in road tax, but in fuel duty. 28 billion of it to be exact. Whenever you fill up your petrol or diesel car, there's a fuel levy that makes up part of your total cost. This goes towards various transport projects and road infrastructure. The more fuel you use, obviously, the more you pay towards that. But with EVs, it may not be that simple. The government can't just introduce an electric levy, as it would have to be paid by everybody, not just EV owners. Imagine being slapped with hotel charges for a hotel you didn't even stay at. Simon.
Shut up! Get over it and get over yourself!
EVs still put wear and tear on the roads though, and looking beyond our little island, we can see there have been some interesting initiatives to tax them. In the United States, the states of Oregon, Utah, Washington, and Virginia have implemented a toll-based fee program for EVs, which is mileage-based. Users have the option of paying either a flat fee or a pay-per-mile charge. The system then keeps track of the vehicle to monitor how far it travels. It uses cloud analytics and mobile tech to ensure that the user's travel habits remain private. In the UK, there are a number of different options being considered. One of them is a black box installed in cars which would monitor distances travelled. Another being looked at is number plate recognition software with strategically placed cameras along the road network. But as of right now, Chancellor Rishi Sunak has not announced anything official. In London, City Mayor Sadiq Khan has already stated that a smart road pricing scheme will need to be introduced, but the technology isn't quite ready yet. It won't be easy though. In 2007, a similar plan to introduce road pricing through the use of satellite receivers was met with huge backlash, and over 1.8 million people signed a petition against it. It's a bit different now, as there were practically no EVs on the roads back then, and many saw it as another sneaky tax and invasion of privacy. Nowadays, it seems people are more comfortable or more oblivious to handing out personal information. Let's face it, the government already knows more about us than we do. They could have told me about Simon, but whatever.
Do you stop?
Anyway, it's not just the UK that's struggling to get an EV tax off the ground. Australia has already made a pretty big mess of things. In Victoria, a pay-per-mile scheme was attacked by car manufacturers, industry groups and environmentalists, saying that it would kill the electric car industry before it had even had a chance to get going. The Australian government still wants to push ahead with it, but the additional costs may severely limit EV uptake in the future, especially in Victoria, where less than 2% of the cars on the road are electric. Let's hope our government does its homework before implementing an EV tax system here. They could do worse than listening to us, to be honest. So come on, Electroheads, tell us in the comments. What do we want them to know? So, will the introduction of new EV taxes and the gradual reduction of the various financial incentives be like discovering your partner is actually the Tinder Swindler? Or will it all just work out in the end? Well, with the continued increase in EV market share, economies of scale should help lower production costs, and the ever-changing developments in battery technology should do the same. So with that backdrop, signs are that the cost of buying an EV will go down even without the current incentives to help keep prices low. As well as that, the new EV taxes imposed will only be replacing the ones we already pay for when driving a petrol car. So it's probably safe to assume we won't be paying any more than we currently do. The crucial thing for the government and decision makers to get right, I suppose, is timing. If cost per mile taxes or something similar comes in too soon, people won't want to pay that extra bit it already costs for an EV. However, if they take too long, the loss in tax revenue could be massive, and you and I both know that it will be the taxpayer who pays for the shortfall anyway. Hit the sweet spot, however, and get it right, and that EV honeymoon phase could transition straight into a happily ever after in a nice apartment with a great view. I've seen 3 great ones already, Simon. Please get back to me about that deposit. You get the benefit of 0 road tax, you can claim the government EV grant, you don't have to pay congestion or ULEZ charges, and you may even qualify for a free charger through the government's workplace charging scheme. We know buying one is expensive, but running an EV right now can work out way cheaper than sticking with a petrol car. There are bound to be a few hiccups as the tax framework changes, so if you can, why not take advantage of all the incentives already out there? Thanks for watching, guys, and please do remember to like and hit subscribe. Otherwise, I won't be able to afford paying off those mystery charges on my credit card from the last time that I let that Simon borrow it. See ya.